Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to fix the super stinky rotten egg smell that comes from these front load washers. And when the seals get super gummed up and nasty and moldy, as long as they don't leak, I'm going to show you a trick for fixing them up like new. Doesn't involve no scrubbing, nothing like that. Just got to show you a little trick to get them off and what we do with them from there to make them like new, and then just a simple little trick for the rest of the tub to have it smelling like a brand new freshly filled swimming pool, and then how to keep it clean going forward. So got an LG washer, which is probably the hardest one to do. I'm going to show you how easy it is still, and how quickly we can do this for you here. So come along with me and we'll get it done. Okay, we're going to get started here. Now, a couple of things to note on the LGs and then the Samsungs as well. Not as bad on the Samsung, but on the LG, both of the clamps holding this thing on are spring loaded, and they want, like, as of today, they want $75 for a tool they used to charge $60 for a few years ago to remove a tool to remove these and put them back on. You can use kind of some sharp needle nose pliers. It's a pain in the butt. The off-brand tool is $10, and I'll put a link in the description and throw a screenshot of that up. Get that so much easier. If you want to white knuckle it and just go this route, you can do that too. That tool, I ordered a new one so I can show you what it looks like out of the box. It'll be here tomorrow. It's 1-day shipping with Amazon, $10. Worth it, trust me, worth it. However, we can use this to get them off. It's putting them back on that tool makes a super useful tool. Anyway, so check it out. This right here is super nasty. This thing is holding 99% of this rotten egg sewage smell. And it's so bad, like it stinks up the entire garage. It smells when you open it, and it smells when it drains the water out. No matter how many cleaning tabs you throw in here at this point, it's not gonna get this seal clean when they get this bad, okay? I don't even wanna touch it with gloves on, it's so bad. All right, but that's where the smell is. That's what's holding that smell. Now, there's nothing wrong with this though, it doesn't leak. It's still perfect. So the only thing wrong with this is that it's got all this buildup. So essentially the solution to fix this is a 24-hour bleach soak. That's what we got to do. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to get it off of here. This has 2 spring clamps holding it in, one on the outside, one on the inside. So we got to identify where it puts together. Right here. I can feel it. See if I can show you. It's just a spring. And so what we're going to do is we're going to jump on one side of that spring with a pair of pliers. It's probably easier with 2 hands. We're going to pull in the opposite direction of the spring. Let me put you on the tripod. Since I'm going to reuse this, I'm going to be careful with it. Let's put it up here. Make sure we're nice and secure. Okay, so I'm going to jump on one side of the spring. And so what these other pliers do is they're basically giant snap ring or O-ring or whatever it's called, snap ring pliers. And when you squeeze down, it either opens or closes, kind of like this, but really big. And it does make this easier. If you were replacing this, then you really wouldn't care how this comes off or if you mess up the old one, but we're going to be super careful. You see how easy that was with 2 hands? It just pulled, popped right off. Sometimes these even fly off on their own. That's kind of a common issue on the LGs, not necessarily the Samsungs though. Okay, so what we gotta do, you'll make sure your water is turned off, make sure it's not plugged in, and we're gonna need to release a couple of these. We're gonna need to release a couple of these clips here, holding the hoses on. Just remember where they go back in place. All right, so we're gonna. Ooh, boy, there's no turning that or nothing. Alright, so check it out. We can just pull this whole big nasty right out of here. There we go. Don't even have to worry about taking the hose off. Just pop the whole thing out. Let's check for any more. There's probably one on the bottom. So this has a gray hose, comes off of this and actually plugs into the bottom there. That's kind of weird. because we're trying to do this without taking the panel off. Just makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. And I might have to get my angle pliers to get on that. All right, these pliers here. Reach right down and pull that off now. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It was just a matter of getting the right angle on it. And then what I'll do is I'm going to shift this the other direction, and putting it back on will be a lot easier. Okay, now on the inside, make sure you can still see, we got to identify that same spot in the spring. We got to find this spot on the inside, so you're just going to run your hand all along it till you identify it. Same thing, we'll use the pliers to then expand the spring and pull it right off. Now on a Samsung model, what you would do is over off to this side, they have a different setup where they have a screw that goes through and holds it together. Tighten the screw and it tightens the ring. Loosen the screw and it loosens the ring. It's a Phillips head, and if you use a stubby screwdriver, you can just reach in, place it on top and undo it and then pull it off. And it's actually pretty easy to do without taking the whole door off. Because we kind of want to avoid pulling everything apart. Looks like I got one more thing hooked up right here. But it's not clamped in, it's just pressed on, so. Okay, and I identified the spot. It's right here at the very top. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway. And then we grab my pliers. That'll be a good spot for these also. Okay, we're gonna jump in. Put it inside the little hoop, which is pretty easy to find. I'm gonna pull it apart and out. See how easy that comes out? Getting it off the easy part. That tool is gonna help us put it back on. Now here's this little black thing. I don't really know what that is yet. We're gonna pull it off. And it's actually in a couple spots, so we're gonna leave it be, but we're gonna pull it off. On both sides, so we're just going to unplug it. Just be sure not to break it. It just pulls away. Now take a look at this. This is the source of your smell. Goes deep, super nasty. So what I'll do, and it really stinks. Okay, oh my gosh. Alright, so this thing was on there like that, and see the tool is going to allow us to hoop in here and pull it out by squeezing the pliers down and putting it back on. I might just be able to do it with these needle nose pliers though. I'm sure the tool is going to help, and for 10 bucks I'm definitely going to do it, but if I hadn't learned about that tool, I probably just could have done it with these other ones. Okay, so now I will get some cleaner hand spray and wipe this down best I can, because there's some gunk built up here, nasty, and it's all along there. Okay, just give you an idea. We'll spin this tub and let this just kind of collect this stuff. Okay, super gross. Anyway, so now what we do is we're gonna take, I'm afraid to touch anything with my nasty hands, we're gonna take that right there, drop it in here, put a whole bottle of bleach in there, super hot water to top it off, and let it float for 24 hours. That's what we're about to do right now. All right, doing a little prep work. We got as hot as we can get it, water in our 5-gallon bucket, and a brand new bottle of bleach. All right, now we're ready. We're gonna take a whole bottle of bleach, pour it in there, just kind of get it all over it. Now 12 hours into this 24-hour soak, I'm gonna come out here with gloves on and I'm gonna flip this gasket inside out. To start, I flipped it inside out. I also sprayed it down with a hose too, because there was a lot of gunky stuff gunked up in there. So I sprayed it with a hose just to rinse it, flipped it inside out, stuck it in that tub, full bottle of bleach, and now we've got our hot water. I'll probably have to get another thing of hot water because I'm gonna fill it to the brim. So make sure you're doing this in an area where you can just dump the water out and hose the area off when you're done with the bleach. All right, and it's ready. You know, if you didn't have an area to do this outside, you could do it in your bathtub. I just have 4 kids, so we can't go 24 hours without using the bathtub. I just find this to be a little easier for me. In 12 hours, I'm gonna set an alarm. I'm gonna come flip this thing in 12 hours, just pull it out, turn it inside out, stick it right back in. So the little bits here that aren't covered up, because this thing's kind of floating, I might find something, see if I can find something heavy and kind of stick on there to weigh it down. Otherwise, I'm not too worried about it because it'll soak for 12 hours also, but it's gonna require the full 24, and it's gonna be out here in the sun too. So that probably helps with the bleaching of the mold color. So, all right, well, we'll come back in 24 hours.